Welcome to the business of being healthy, where we are passionate about treating our health as good as we treat our wealth. Sheley Brien here, and I am obsessed with sharing real-life experiences and wisdom to help save you time, heartache, and money as you continue to grow personally and professionally. Twice a week, we push aside that BS to take massive intentional action. And I promise by tuning in, you will receive the straightforward talk you've been waiting for, filled with actionable steps that will inspire you to achieve the health and wealth you desire while you are building your empire. Well, here we are, well into the new year. I hope that everyone continues to enjoy that New Year's health blitz that I did with those first episodes, starting off this year, providing you a fresh perspective on health in business rather than just looking at diet and exercise. So it was a very different perspective. As you know, that's what I'm all about here on the show. And today's episode is no different. This one actually stems from, one thing that I absolutely love doing, and I highly recommend this. I have talked to this on episodes that I've shared about which podcasts I like and which books I like. There's a lot of new content coming out, but honestly, what I find is the old stuff. So if you find someone that you resonate with, go back 2 years into their content, into their social media content, into their podcast. Listen to their old episodes, old information. I say old only because of the time that it was recorded. The relevancy is typically exactly spot on to everything that is going on, probably in your business and or life. So this one actually stems from a podcast episode. I actually listened to it on YouTube. I don't know how many of you listen to your podcasts on YouTube as well. This show, The Business of Being Healthy, is on YouTube as well, but this came from Joe Rogan. So I'm not here to debate whether you like Joe Rogan or not. What I am here to talk about is an episode, like I said, from 4 years ago that had 4 million views. And this was with Naval Ravikant. And I've spoken about Naval a little bit more recently on some of my social media, so I hope that you're connected with me there. But this was an incredible discussion. And, you know, Joe's podcasts are about 3 hours long. I'm not there yet. They're about 3 hours long, and about just shy of that 2-hour mark, Naval hit me with like a mic drop moment where he said that your real resume is a collection of your hardships. Think about that. Your real resume is a collection of your hardships. Dang, that's so freaking good. Because I started thinking about just the word resume. When you hear the word resume, you know, I spent 18 years in corporate America. So I drank the Kool-Aid for a little bit and then I moved on. But even now, I'm reviewing resumes of people that we are hiring on to our construction company. And I think of resume, I'm thinking about accomplishments. What are all the good things you did? I know my resume, it was like, I won this award, this award, this award, year after year after year, being like, look at how great I am at all of my accomplishments on my resume. And as I listened to this episode, this Joe Rogan podcast, I mean, this was probably a month ago now. I've really stewed on this. That's why I'm dedicating an entire episode to it today, is that I can truly see now how my resume, when I think about it from my hardships perspective, it is so much more powerful than of my accomplishments. Yeah, of course. I mean, it felt so great, you know, in my 20s and my 30s being like, wow, look at my resume. Look at how cool I am. Look at all these accomplishments and these awards I've won and look at what I've done. And now I can see that my stories have changed. And really, I would say in the last like 4-ish years, it went from me talking about my resume to actually look at me at my resume to look at what I learned. And here, let me tell you all about it. And I hope that it helps you do what you were going to try to do that maybe I did in the past, and maybe you can do it faster. Maybe it's a little bit easier. Maybe you save a little bit of money or time. And so I want to bring it back to that original quote of your resume is a collection of your hardships. And so if we take this quote as truth, then we would say, what can we do to increase our hardships, thereby increasing the strength of our resume? Increase hardships, right? You're probably like, sounds awesome, Sheley. No, thank you. And I can totally, I feel it, right? 2023 for most was really hard. I know it was for us, but I also look at it like, dang, 2023 just built my resume. Coming into 24 and years going forward, I'm so much stronger because of those hardships. And when I started changing the perspective of resume, and this just helped me really understand what we should be building is our hardships. That's where we learn the lessons. And it got me thinking about this mindset tool that I use when I feel like I can't do something new. If you've been with me here on the show for a while, I've shared kind of my background. And I mean, I went from left field to right field, and there was quite a few times where I was like, what the hell am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. And it gets really scary. And I start second guessing myself and my capabilities, or I find myself doing something that is really hard. And it can be hard for various reasons. It's hard because it's uncomfortable. It's hard because it's a conversation I don't want to have. It's hard because it's just freaking hard. And I wanted to share this tool with you because if there's anything that we could do as we could keep moving forward, is building that resume of hardships. And this tool is truly something that I have used. I have shared this with other people that still use it to this day. They tell me they still use it to this day. So I wanted to share it with you here. But it's truly a 3-step process. Super easy. We will line these out in the notes. I'll also tag in that episode of Joe Rogan, the YouTube link. I'll have that in the show notes too. But here's my mindset tool. When I have something hard that I need to do, and I'm not really believing in myself that I can do it. The first thing is pull out some type of note in your phone. I don't know if you use notes in your phone or voice notes or some type of AI to transcribe everything that you say, or a journal. Like if you're old school with paper, sometimes that's what I love to do. I have been all about the Google Docs now, and I keep those as my running journal. And the first thing that you need to do is make a list of all the hard things that you've done in your life. So take this isn't just a one sitting thing, but take a moment, take a few moments over a week and think about all those hard things. Think about that last job that you started. Think about resigning from the job that you had. What if it was, going to graduate school, graduating college, ending a long-term relationship, or maybe relentlessly sticking to your nutrition goals, regardless of every excuse that you had in the book because you were traveling because of your corporate career. Think back to all those times. Maybe it was an illness that you got through. Maybe it was that conversation that you were dreading and you never had it until that one point. And I want you to think about those times where you truly couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Those are those valleys that are really hard. That's where you're building so much character. You're building that resume down there. Just make a list. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just make bullet points that will remind you of all the hard things that you've done. And then the next thing is to take massive action. So what do I mean by massive action? Is when it gets hard and you're thinking about not doing something because of maybe it's a potential sacrifice. Dang, I just said that and something came to my mind right now that I am literally going through right now. Just a major sacrifice that really hits home for me. And I am continuing to take action and go forward. Now, when I start second guessing myself, and this is the third step in the process, is review that list. When you're thinking, I can't go anymore, I can't see this, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, go back, review your list, and see exactly how freaking strong you are. See the times that you were like, holy cow, I didn't know how I was going to get out of that gutter. And I did. And here's the lessons I learned. And here's how I've been able to apply them in my life going forward. I can think about that in a few examples in my corporate career. But by taking massive action, every time it gets hard, you review your list and you add to it. Keep adding. When you come back this next time, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember in 2023 when this happened. I didn't know how I was going to get through it, but I kept moving forward and look at where I am today. I can do this. I've been here before. What this list is it's your proof. And it's funny now because this is truly something that I do. My list is quite long at this point. But it's funny. It's a collection of my hardships. It's truly my resume. This is my life resume. The fact that I won all these awards is the fact that I got through all these hardships. I made it. Sure, sometimes we're easy or disgusting and gross and hard and crying and lonely. But I can see now. I have proof that I've been here before. I have proof that I am strong enough to get through this. And so I just wanted to share this today because I know everyone's talking about like, hey, go get your goals, New Year's resolutions. You can do this. You can do this. Sometimes that stuff is hard. And when it gets hard, we don't want to do it. But now is the time to build that life resume. It's that collection of hardships. And here's how I do it. So I wanted to share that with you today. So if you have a friend that's maybe in that hard passing right now, or a colleague who has been, let's say, talking about starting that business for years, but continues to have excuses that maybe they aren't capable, share this with them. Be the one that shows them exactly how strong they are. And let's build our collection of hardships and build our resume so that we can go do the things that we want to do. And when hardships come, they will soon not be hardships. It will be the way that we know that we get to go through to get to our end goal. So thank you again for tuning in. I hope that you share this with someone else. And if this kind of hit home with you, please share it out on social media, tag me. I would love to connect with you. And we will see you next time.